Hi guys, it's Sunday. I'm sitting back and I want to tell a story. I got asked a question on Twitter and I'll show it to you guys. Right here, the question says, if Adam Aaron was going to bankrupt AMC, right? He certainly could have by now. That being said, why would they invest in a gold mine, a gold/silver mine? And what are your thoughts on HYMC? So, a lot of people remember years ago, like out of nowhere in 2022, Adam Aaron announced that AMC would be investing into a small company, a mining company called HYMC. And right away, YouTubers took to it and started pushing it out to say, this is it. This is like the end game, and this is a checkmate, and choke on that, and all this other stuff, right? But the truth was, what they were doing was they were saving an investment from one of their creditors. You see, back in 2020, HYMC had actually gone public via a small company that did a SPAC called Mudrick Capital. Mudrick Capital is the same company that gave Adam Aaron and AMC a couple of $100 million, keep them afloat during some hard times during the pandemic. So Mudrick Capital asked AMC to invest into their gold mine company. It's a scratch my back, you scratch yours. And so Adam Aaron said, hell yeah, we'll do it. And guess what? We'll get everyone behind it. So not only did they tell everyone that they were investing into HYMC, and they did, $50 million, then they allowed the public to go buy that stock, which has done a 10-to-1 reverse stock split, which has lost all its value. It's absolutely terrible. It's a bankrupt company. After you do all the homework on the mining company, HYMC, you find out they don't ever mine gold. They don't do anything. They're not even in operation. So it was a play on people. It was photo shoots. If you ever seen it in your life, you saw Adam Aaron put on the hard hat and the jackets and go out and do a photo shoot with, they even did a dance. Dr. Diane Garrett, the CEO over there, she has no idea what she walked into. She really thinks, like, this company's going to be great. Look, all these people think about it and they love it. They don't understand what they own. I'm going to tell you what they own, but it was a private equity saving. That's what it was, and it was because of the alum. So let me show you the truth about HYMC and why you should never touch AMC. Guys, if you guys are invested in AMC, let's go back to that. There's no edits or cuts or anything like that. If you're invested into AMC and you're asking me what you should do with your position, don't ask me. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You go ahead and figure out why you're down 99%. And then you see how much your money's actually worth. But if you invested into HYMC or AMC or any of it, then you don't understand finance. You don't understand balance sheets. And don't talk to me about short positions. Don't talk about, this is the most shorted. No, it's not. For all of you guys out there that are watching AMC stocks and you guys are talking, like I had people in the message yesterday. I put out a video 8 minutes long about AMC, the truth about it. People message me like, you don't understand. You're just a hater. You're not talking about the shorts. You're not talking about the positions against it. I'm like, what are you talking about? OBV is negative. It's not even positive, meaning they've sold more shares than you'll ever care to buy. But OBV on the quarterly is in the negative. It's not in the positive. That means the public's not with you. No one's with you. There's nothing there. You're buying a dead stock. But hey, let me prove to you that Adam Aaron lied to you about HYMC, and they all did. It's private equity, if you don't understand that part. Or maybe you do. Or maybe you have watched Connect the Dots. But let me explain it to you. There's this company where private equity started from. And you could say KKR, and you could say, Bain and Company, you could say Carlyle Group, but it's really Drexel Burnham Lambert. And when you find out everything goes back to Mike Milken and Drexel Burnham and why they shut them down. I don't care if we're talking Mullen Automotive, it gets to Drexel Burnham. If we talk about AMC, it gets to Drexel Burnham. Like, that's the truth. So let's go look. Even Bed Bath & Beyond, it gets to Drexel. It gets to Burnham. And here's why. Because out of the ashes that was Drexel Burnham Lambert formed a company called Apollo. And Apollo, all their board of directors, the initial board of directors, I don't care if it's Josh Harris, Mark Rowan, Leon Black, they all came from Drexel. They left Drexel, they got shut down by the government, and they came over and formed Apollo. But let's go ahead and see if we're absolutely correct on HYMC. You guys tell me if we got this right. So first you asked the question, why? And I'm going to tell you why HYMC is not great. This is a video I found 4 years ago, almost 4.5 years ago. This video here was a mining video that has like 2,000 views, and it was so weird because the guy on the left down here in the box, this is David Kirsch. David Kirsch, this guy, looks like he's a scumbag Wall Street guy, which he is. And this gentleman here actually knows about mining, and so does his son. They know about mining. But Jason, these guys are distressed credit investors, right? So they're looking for investments that are stressed, and they're going to give you money to leverage you. This is no different than a junk bond, a leverage bond. What they do is they go find bankrupt companies, they launch them as SPACs, and they go public within 75 days, within 90 days, just to go rinse and repeat, go get money from the public again. And these guys make it fees. These guys make executive fees. So this was the actual chairman of the board for HYMC. He looks like he knows a lot about mining. But don't let me just go off of looks. Let's go ahead and go and announce it to you. Mudger Capital, the acquisition corp, acquires HYMC Corporation to create a publicly traded company, world-class mining company. Is that really what they did? HYMC does not mine anything. They're not in operation. They haven't been for years. But when you look at it and you see that they actually did a SPAC called MUDS, and they formed this relationship, you then see how they did it. $50 million here. This is what you have. This is who you have involved. Eric Sprout was already involved before it ever got to AMC. And if you guys don't know that play, that was just a play on people to put a name next to it. But let's go ahead and talk to this. Right here, you're going to see, effective upon Dr. Diane Garrett's appointment and president, September 8th, 2020. Mr. Stephen Jones will be stepping down. But David Kirsch, right here, Kirsch, the chairman of the board, in the company's board of directors. Well, guys, he's the chairman of the board of HYMC. He's also the vice president of Mudger Capital. Two birds, one stone. David currently holds 0 shares of this company, by the way. Okay, 0 shares of this company because he knew that he wasn't going to be there long. He knew he was leaving. But when you read this, it says Hycroft Mining, this is in 2021, a year before Adam Aaron went ahead and made the announcement they're investing into AMC. This is when HYMC. This is when AMC was popping, guys. June 11th of 2021. It says Mudger Capital is placing approximately 777,000 shares of common stock and 394 warrants from Harvesting Fund, which takes the fund entirely out of Hycroft equity. They literally were expanding the float, and David Koresh, and you'll see it here, chairman of the board of directors, stated, Mudger continues to intend to be a long-term shareholder of Hycroft, and we support management's initiative to increase their ownership in the company. He's talking in third person because he's not only the board of directors for HYMC, he is Mudrick. He literally is Mudrick. And if you guys don't know who he is, he's this guy. It doesn't even look like a real lovable guy. This is him, and he has a very famous, somewhat famous wife. But these guys are everything. And David and Danny Kirsch, and they've been married since 2015. The greatest times of their life. The problem that you'll have with this guy, who actually manipulated people and taking money from them via HYMC, this guy right here, is that his father. If you don't know his father, this is his dad. His dad is Arthur Kirsch. Now, Arthur Kirsch looks just like his son, shocker, is a senior advisor with Alvarez & Marsal. Alvarez & Marsal is a consulting firm for distressed credit investing. And if you don't know about Alvarez & Marsal, this is the same company that Sue Gove used to work for. If you don't know who Sue Gove is, she was the acting CEO and then named CEO of Bed Bath & Beyond, bankrupt that company as well. So when you go and look at this, you'll see that he has over 30 years experience in M&A. But if you read the fine print, it says it right here. He also worked at Drexel, Burnham, and Lambert, where he was the top-ranked tobacco and beverage analyst and managed the equities business. Let me tell you guys something, okay? These guys all work together. This gentleman here worked with the heads of AMC. And when I say the heads of AMC, we're talking about Apollo, and we're talking about Adam Aaron. Adam Aaron comes from Apollo. And all those guys at Apollo started at Drexel Burnham. This is the same thing. It's all about relationships. So when you go, and if you guys don't believe the relationship connection, we'll go look right here. It tells you Arthur Kirsch, 63, managing director of plenty of companies as you see through them, right? And they're going to name them all. I started reading everything here. And it says start at the board of directors, all this. But then I start looking at companies, and I'm going to give you the example, and I'm going to let you guys see it. I just want to make sure the dad's the dad, right? Like I'm like, oh, wow, that's him. Look at this. Mudger Capital Management This is in 2017, guys. Reports a 15% stake in Verso Corp. Okay, Verso Corp. So Mudrick invested in the Verso Corp. When you go to Verso and you look right here, they are different name now, which is fine. But at the time, right after this, the company restructured in 2016 following a bankruptcy, and then you'll see who owned them. The company was formed in August 2006 when Apollo Global Management went ahead and made them public. So this is what happened. They were listed as an IPO, they went public, and as they went public, they went bankrupt. And who bankrupted them and how this all happened? It's always a Drexel Burnham Apollo connection, right? All the way through. So if you're ever wondering how Mudrick gets these investments, their kids get these investments, right? It's because they set them up on a T. That's how they do it. Now, if you don't know about AMC and you don't know about private equity, then maybe you forgot who Adam Aaron is the father of. Adam Aaron has 2 kids, Jeremy and David. Jeremy, who's a lawyer at the IRS, and 2, David Aaron. David married Jake Poses, right? And they both worked for Bain Capital, yes, private equity, and they both did distressed credit deals all the way through Hart Media, and this is all posted here. It says, got married, and because this is LinkedIn, I'll tell you all about the professional side of our relationship. Yes, we talked about private equity on our first date. Shocker, Adam Aaron. Your kids know about private equity? But you're not private equity, Adam Aaron. No, you've only been invested with private equity and worked for private equity your whole career. That your kids talk about it and marry it. Congratulations. Fathers and their sons, and who pocketed money off of the AMC deal and the HYMC deal. That's the correlation. You don't know Adam Aaron gifted his 2 sons what would be the equivalent of $30 million worth of shares. $30 million as a gift. Here's one of his sons right here, Jeremy Aaron Dine. Don't worry. It gets better. Where did Jake used to work? Jake Poses, his son-in-law, Adam Aaron's son-in-law. Boston Consulting Group, right here. Boston Consulting Group and Bain Capital. Yes, private equity. We'll go back to Mudrick, though. HYMC and the connection. Remember, their kids already work together. I've got the names David Kirsch. It's right there. This is where they closed out Muds at $275 million on the IPO. How many billions have they made so far? The company itself. Oh, this is Jake Poses, by the way.
My dad sent me this screenshot yesterday and asked me, did it resonate? Some of the most challenging leaders I've worked with or worked for in my career lack this skill.
There's David Koresh's wife hanging out with, I don't know, some famous people, Charlotte and Nikki Hilton and whoever. You know, they have, this is the life they're living. Hey, HYMC, you want to know about investing into that? Guess who's on their board of directors? This young lady. And where did she come from? Lionsgate. Why would I want to be invested with this company? How could I be? Sean Goodman's on the board of directors. Asbury Automotive is a private equity play as well. This guy is private equity, and he got planted into the company of AMC. She knows nothing about what she's doing. You know who she's done interviews with? Boss Blunts. What does that tell you? This should tell you everything you need to know about your investment. I would never touch it. Why is it that the people saying the most out there trying to sell their company to the public via YouTube and Twitter? Get out of here. How about a deal between Roku and Apollo where they made a joint bid on Stars trying to buy it from Lionsgate? She's from Lionsgate, that one board of director, and guess what? Apollo buys carved out assets from Lionsgate. Great. That just happens. How about this guy who actually is on Lionsgate board of directors? We can do this right here before joining Lionsgate. He's 9 years at Sony Pictures. Anybody know who Sony Pictures bought out? AMC Movie Theaters. Sony Pictures is actually Magic Johnson Movie Theaters, sold to, it was the Lowe's Corporation. That's who bought out those, and then they sold to AMC. You don't see it here? Look at this. He orchestrated the company's 1997 acquisition of Spanish language broadcast Telemundo in partnership with Liberty Media and Apollo Management. So Lionsgate is sold out before too. I know exactly what I'm looking at when I look at AMC and I look at HYMC. You asked the question, why do we talk about it? Why should you be invested into it? No. If you knew what happened back then, HYMC sold itself to AMC for $50 million, and they allowed the public to come in and grab all those shares at $3 a pop, at $1.50 a pop. You don't remember? I remember. The equivalent of the price would be $15 today, $30 today. What's the stock at? $3 again? $2 again? That's after a 10-to-1 split, reverse stock split. You could never be invested into this company. You know what, guys? It doesn't take a lot of common sense, but it does take some sense. Their fathers all work together. The kids are making deals together. They all work for private equity. They all have their hands in the cookie jar. And the unfortunate part is, I can tell you when it's happening, but you won't care. I've got a good friend of mine, and I say friend, he's a guy I know from the show. He hits me up. He's like, hey, man, I got significant investment into AMC. What should I do? Good, talk to me. Call me. Listen to me. You know who you are. You know who you're asking. What the hell are you asking me for? It is plain as day. What are you waiting for? That's what I got to ask you. You can do whatever the hell you want to do with your money. You want to lose it? Lose it. You want to go throw it at a stripper's ass? Go do that. You want to buy some cards that aren't worth any money? Go do that. I don't care what you do. It's not my problem. I give you the information, and then you guys mistake it for hate. I don't hate anyone or anything. I just tell you the truth about your investments. You know what you hate? You hate the truth. AMC is a terrible investment. Adam Aron is a terrible human being. There's no way to cut that any differently. And you're invested with it. Whether you're buying HYMC or you're buying AMC stock, you're invested with the man who's making this world a worse place. Believe it.